Okay, guys, HR management. It's April 2021. This is going to be a short video demonstrating how to build a correlation matrix table with the purpose of putting this into your final project, the computer simulation project that you'll do at the end, and incorporating all 8 periods or 8 quarters and what a correlation matrix really shows us and what that means. So let me pull up a sample table. Okay, so let me explain what a correlation, what the numbers mean, first of all. So this is a sample table, and what you're going to do is have your 8 periods here, or 8 quarters, and these are all the metrics that we've worked with through the semester, from unit labor cost all the way to absenteeism. So when you design your correlation matrix table, this is how you want to put it together. And if you notice here, these are the starting metric numbers at the beginning, okay, of the simulation. So you want to get all these numbers from your dashboard. So you would go to period 1 and look at what your unit labor cost was at period 1, what the quality index, turnover, and so forth. Then you go to period 2, look at your dashboard, and get all these numbers, okay, for period 2. So you want to do that for all 8 periods and build this, this table in Excel. So once we have all that, what we're basically trying to do is to, with the correlation matrix, look at 2 variables and see how they move in relation to one another. Do they move together, both going up? Do they move together, both going down? Or do they move in opposite directions? Okay, and that's the essence of correlation matrix. So, for example, correlation coefficient, you'll get something like when you end up running the table, see later, you'll get a number typically between -1 and 1. Generally, you do not ever get an exact 1 or an exact -1. You get something in between, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, negative -0.2, -0.4, and so forth. Okay. If you get something that's getting close to 1, that means it's highly correlated. There's a positive relationship, positive correlation, and those can both be going up or both be going down. So when one variable goes up, the other goes up. Or when one variable goes down, the other one goes down. Both of those are positive correlations. A negative correlation is when one variable goes up, the other variable goes down. Or conversely, when that other variable goes down, the other one goes up. And that's a negative correlation. And again, that might be negative 0.90, which is a high negative correlation. Okay, so that's the background and what that means. So once we've laid this out, what it's going to end up looking like, here's a blank table that you would set up, and then you would, when you see ones like this, put this here. When you run the table, you get all these ones. That simply means that if you look, you'll get a quality index. Against quality index is always going to be a 1. So when you are matching up that variable with itself, it's always going to be a 1. So you will see a series of 1s on every correlation matrix table, because quality index to 1 is 1. Turnover in relation to itself will be 1. Okay. All the rest will be some number, 0.80, -0.2, etc. This is what the table will ultimately look like, okay? And we'll show you how to get that, okay? So if we come up here, What you want to do to get a correlation, to build a correlation matrix table, you have to do what they call import. If you look up here, and this is a PC, so if you guys have a Mac, it may be different. But if you go to data, there's a data analysis tab. And if you do not have that, if you have a PC and you do not see that, you have to add it. And let me show you how you would add that if you do not have this tab. You go to File, go to Options, okay. Go to Data. Sorry, that's not correct. Go to Add-ins, okay. Click on Add-ins, okay. Then you see this Analysis tool pack. You want to highlight that, okay. And then you hit down here, it says Excel add-ins. Make sure that's showing, and then just click Go, okay. I already have it installed, so I'm not going to do that again, but you would click on Analysis Tool Pack and click on Go, okay. And then when you refresh your computer, you'll see on the data, you'll see a data analysis tab, okay. So when you have that, and we have all this data populated based using your dashboard, so what you're going to do is go up here, click on Data Analysis, okay, and look for correlation. Right here, click on OK. Okay. Then this little dialog box will pop up, and it's asking you what is your input range. Okay. And I'm going to move this over just a notch. Okay, so you guys can see it. Your input range is going to be, you want to start with unit labor cost. Okay, and just highlight the entire table. Let's move this over just for a second. Okay, so you're going to highlight the labels and all the data. Okay, and it will actually populate for you. Okay, so that's the range, and very important, you want to list the labels in the first row. So click that button, and that means these labels will appear. Now it's asking, where do you want to put it? The output range. You can, you can do new worksheet, or you can actually place it right here. Let's do it. Click here. You can go output range. Click here. Okay, and then okay, so now I put that field where it's going to deliver the output, and then you just simply click OK, and there it is. So let's scoot this over. Whoops. If you want to, I would recommend taking this and just expanding it, making it larger so you can see what's happening. So either do a couple different ways. Do that. Okay. Column width and make it, what 20. That just give you some space. Okay. And so there you go. You can move this over so you can see the whole whole grid. Another thing I like to do is make these decimals, 2 or 3 decimal places, because it's kind of hard to interpret and read. So what I would normally do is do this, okay, and come up here, and it says decreased decimal, so make it, let's try that again. I think you can bring it down to 2 or 3 places. Okay, so now it's easier to read and manage. So now we have, now we can start analyzing it, and we'll do two. We'll look for something that is positively correlated. Okay, so that's going to be somewhere in the neighborhood of a positive 0.7, 0.8, 0.9, somewhere like that. Okay, so let's look at this 0.99. That's very, it's almost perfectly correlated. So morale, it's looking at morale and it's looking at quality index, okay, where they meet. When morale goes up, quality index probably goes up. That makes sense. Let's see if we can find another one. Um, Productivity and morale. When productivity goes up, morale goes up. Or when morale goes up, productivity goes up. Okay, those are positively correlated. um, and you can also see it when something drops and actually morale, I'm sorry, productivity goes up. Let's look at accident rate and turnover. Okay, accident rate and turnover. Okay, 0.66. That's pretty good. So probably when turnover drops, accident rates drop. Okay, that's a good thing, but they're going in the same direction, but they're going down. Okay, now let's look at one that's a negative correlation. We'll look at grievances and morale. Okay, when morale drops, grievances go up. So when your morale is dropping, there are more problems. So grievances, so they're moving in opposite direction. Absenteeism, when your morale drops, you probably start not showing up for work. Okay, so absenteeism increases as morale drops. So it's negative. They're going in opposite directions. Okay, so that is how to build a correlation table, and it gives you a short explanation on how to interpret that.